We're pleased to have you aboard this Canada 3000 flight.
Il nous fait plaisir de vous accueillir à bord de ce vol de Canada 3000.
While your crew prepares for takeoff, let's take a few minutes to do our part in making this an enjoyable flight and a safe, secure one.
Alors que l'équipage se prépare au décollage, prenons quelques minutes pour s'assurer que ce vol
One of our
soit le plus
mandates was that we had to
agréable
accomplish
possible et que
2
l'on vole en
languages
toute
and do a
sécurité.
full demonstration within 5 minutes. And we felt that by putting on an actual video, we can provide more information to the passengers.
We're pleased to have you aboard this Canada 3000 flight.
We found everybody very friendly and professional, and I think that helped us achieve what we wanted to do. Everybody was always very eager to listen to what we wanted what the finished product had to be, and I think that was a good relationship that started off, and I think that made the final product very successful.
Well, when you say here's how, what immediately comes to mind is probably David Howe and his support staff and the people around him that make it an enjoyable exercise.
Nicorette, nicotine polyacrylics, was the only approved product for nicotine replacement
It's a
therapy.
rarity that you would find somebody at that level of professionalism. It was a graph style of animation. It was the clearest way of explaining how the Nicoderm patch worked in comparison to its competitors.
In most cases, the in vitro drug release characteristics will have a higher correlation to in vivo behavior, enabling the prediction of an in vivo system performance with a high degree of confidence.
I think the most amazing thing that came out of that video was the talent that Here's How Production basically was able to find. I would work with Here's How Production immediately just because of their professionalism that they brought to the whole project.
How and even if you use conditions depends largely on
The client has a PC in their office and they can dial up directly and speak to our inventory. We have a government client, the RCMP, who had a special requirement in their contract which had been negotiated in, and that was to do an instructional video of a program which we sold to them, just to make it easier for them because they have so many locations across the country.
How and even if you use conditions depends largely on individual circumstances. Conditions are dealt with in more detail in your training guide.
We showed it, all levels of the company, right up to the executive who's in charge of special services, which is the government segment, and he was extremely happy with it.
To our knowledge, it's the first attempt at doing something on the annual report to shareholders. And print does not necessarily transform to video very well. In fact, in many cases it doesn't, and especially when it comes to print design.
We are building our future as a fully integrated North American bank upon 4 pillars. All will be fully autonomous in their specific markets, but will be equal partners, taking advantage of their shared strength to better serve our customers.
We were sort of trailblazers in many ways, but all in all, considering that we were creating it as we went along, I was very pleased with it. They were executed with such imagination and precision. We were under a huge amount of time constraints because the project was approved and we basically had 6 weeks to execute. David was very sympathetic to our challenges and embraced the challenge with an enthusiasm which made the project a lot of fun to deal with.
I have no idea why the logo is a cow.
I assumed because of David's name and the sort of how now brown cow scenario. And how now brown cow or something.
A friend had this cow that looked like that.
I think you did tell me, but I can't even.
And that's probably the question. Why the cow?